What's good, y'all, man? So let's talk about the AP poll because it is here. It has returned. So let's talk about it. So the first thing I'm noticing in this new AP poll is I'm seeing a whole lot of group of 5 teams. I'm seeing the Tulanes, the North Texas, the James Madison all up in this poll. Wasn't like that a few weeks ago, but I definitely get in and see why. Now at 25, I don't believe that Houston should be ranked, right? Humbly, that's just my opinion. They lost to West Virginia 45-35 a few weeks ago, and they barely just beat UCF 30-27. So this is a team that, to me, should not be ranked in the AP poll. I feel like you can go other spots here and rank different teams, in my humble opinion. Now, I like Tulane ranked at number 24. I think they're having a very, very good season. So I like seeing them obviously here. The only team they lost to was Ole Miss, 45-13. And obviously Tulane ended up losing to UTSA, which is an ugly loss if we have to be honest, 48-26, right? Other than that, Jake Retzlaff has looked good this year. They have a really good receiving core. They run the ball. Retzlaff is one of their best rushers, right? Tulane is a real deal. And the next 2 games, they should be able to handle business and win, which should set them up in that contention, that conversation for an American Conference Championship potentially. Missouri, y'all know how I feel about Missouri. I'm still not sold at number 23, right? Got to see how they're going to play 2 final games to end the season. And the big game coming up for Missouri, they're going to play Oklahoma. We'll talk about Oklahoma here in a second, but I don't see them winning that game, and that game is in Oklahoma, right? So there's no way in hell they're going to win in Norman. So they'll essentially eradicate themselves from this conversation, unfortunately. And Missouri's had a decent year under Eli Drinkowitz. He's a good coach, but definitely a team that's going to pretty much eliminate themselves. Now, North Texas has been good this year. Now, what hurt North Texas at number 22 is that they lost to USF, right? Now, USF has screwed themselves as well with their recent loss, to Navy. And then we also see what happened with, obviously, Memphis was lost 2 in a row. They're pretty much done. But North Texas, with their quarterback, Westmaker, has been balling this year, right? Only 4 interceptions, over 20-plus touchdowns, 3,000 yards passing. He's been good. Caleb Hawkins, also for North Texas, is nearing 1,000 yards rushing and has 16 touchdowns with only a few games left in the regular season. He's also been really good, right? But it's just that certain loss that hurt them. So it's going to be really intriguing down the stretch to American Athletic and seeing what they're going to be able to do. But rightfully so, they should be obviously ranked. James Madison is looking like it's going to be that lone team that gets in there humbly into a CFP playoff, especially if they keep going. The only problem that hurts them is that the Sun Belt is not very good. When you look at, obviously, the Sun Belt compared to the American Conference has way better teams than the Sun Belt does, right? So it's like, how much will they go and buy in and allow James Madison to get in, right? What if they go 11-1? Is that good enough to get in? Or 12-1 and win their conference championship, right? Is that good enough to get them into a CFP playoff, especially with how weak their conference has been this year? That's going to be something to continue to watch out for James Madison. That's the only thing that hurts them is their non-conference schedule and obviously how bad their conference has been this year. American Athletic has been leaps and bounds above that. Tennessee obviously handled their business against New Mexico State. Joey Aguilar balled. I'm still not sold. I still don't believe that they should be ranked humbly. But we'll see. They got a couple games coming up. They have a potential chance to knock out Vanderbilt, I think, the last regular season game of the year. So that's going to be one to watch for. If they can do that, then maybe. But 3-loss team, I don't think they should be in the CFP. That's just me personally. Virginia, shout out to Virginia. A little disrespected, I would say humbly. They did lose to Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a pretty good team. In the ACC, nobody expected them to be this good. 7-3, beat North Carolina yesterday. Decent offense, really good defense. But Virginia did what they were supposed to do against Duke, right? And I'm glad that Doomsday scenario is officially gone. You can't talk about that no more in the ACC. So Virginia obviously getting in, it's unfortunate, but it's going to weigh on their show. You got to handle business. I think they have a bye week this week, then they play Virginia Tech. Handle business against the Hokies, a team that they've struggled with. They lost 8 of the last 9 against them. But you have a really good defense. I think their defense is top 35 in total defense this year, right? You got a Cam Robinson, a Jason Pavard, a Devin Neal. They have pieces all over the field, and the ability to slow them down says a lot. So this team can play. They had over 500-plus yards of offense yesterday against Duke. Chandler Morris did what he was supposed to do, had the 2 interceptions, but Jamari Taylor carried the day, over 100 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns in the victory. Virginia's a good team, man, but it sucks. They're going to probably have to win an ACC title just to get in. Michigan struggled mightily against Northwestern. Northwestern has been giving teams fits all year. It led to the firing of, obviously, James Franklin with Penn State, but they're a formidable team. You got to give them boys credit. You got to, obviously say that, Northwestern's a team to be, reckoned with in terms of if you're going on the road or if you're facing them, it's not an easy win. Michigan, nonetheless, though, got to get it together. Texas just got outcoached, like I said last night, right? Now, at 17, it's Texas. They're a brand. They're still going to have a chance in order to kind of help them out, right? And what do I mean by a chance? They're going to have a chance only because of what they can do, right? So they have a chance, the Longhorns do, because they're going to play Texas A&M, right? Arkansas, Texas A&M. Texas A&M is massive. They won their game, which helps them out a lot. 2 more games to go for the Aggies. If you can go at home and beat them, I don't see how, if you're Texas, you can't get into a CFP. Arch got to play better. The receivers have to play better and stop dropping the football. Mosley, Ryan Wingo stepped up at the end, but got to play better early on. And the defense kept them in the game. They just got out-coached and got tired at the end. Credit Kirby Smart for his coaching at the end of that game. And obviously, they outlasted Texas. USC struggled mightily against Iowa, and I told y'all that Iowa shouldn't be ranked. Iowa has not beat nobody this year to be into a CFP playoff or to even be in the rankings, humbly. And USC obviously showed you why. Not a great game from Jaden Mayava, but Mekhi Lemon Ball, once again, over 150 yards receiving. He's that dude. He's nice. And defense finally did a little something. Now, Georgia Tech at 15, I can't really hate on. I said top 12 for the Yellow Jackets. But they struggle, man. They got to figure out their defense. Defense has not been good the last few weeks. And I'm having an article that comes out today at 4 o'clock. Got to play Montre Bradford. He only had 10 snaps. He was your 4th highest graded player per PFF. You have to play him, man. You don't have a choice. You have to play that guy. He's just too good. And you're not getting enough from, no disrespect to from Hoffler, from Manley. You're not getting enough from those guys to not play some of your young guns. You have to. Let them make mistakes and grow in the game. Because the last few weeks has not been cutting it. Offense balled again, over 600 yards of total offense. Haynes King continues the ball out. The receivers, 2 100-yard receivers, Eric Rivers, Malik Rutherford, that's getting it done. Miami ran roughshod, obviously all over NC State, showing why they should be one of the few teams in the ACC that makes the CFP playoff. For me, if I'm the committee, I'm going to put Miami into the CFP playoff, especially if they go 10-2, and I'm going to put whoever wins that ACC championship game as an automatic bid. I think at minimum, ACC should get 2 teams in, just how they had last year. We will see what happens. Utah, y'all know I'm still not sold on Utah, man, but Devontae Pierre always gives them boy a chance. I feel like they're going to taper off towards the end of the year. Last 2 games of the regular season or potentially getting into that Big 12 championship game. We'll see how the rankings and how everything falls out there, but I think Utah's going to eliminate themselves, humbly. Now, Vandy's still in the mix. Vandy's going to have to handle business over the next few games. They got some tough ones coming up. Going to have to handle Tennessee and several of the other games if they're going to punch a ticket. I don't think Vandy gets in with 3 losses. Vandy's going to have to get in with 2 losses, so they can't lose the rest of the way, in my humble opinion. Now, BYU, man, team to watch, man. I like BYU. I think they're a really good football team. Big win, obviously, yesterday over TCU. They did what they were supposed to do. I like their offense. I like L.J. Martin and Bachmeier. I like what they're able to do. So BYU is going to be a team to watch. Lost badly to Texas Tech, but they should be in the conversation. Now, Bama, ugly loss at home, man, against Oklahoma. Supposed to handle your business. And you have to be honest, man, Brett Venables has Kalen DeBoer's number. 2 straight losses to them, and the offense just couldn't get going really in that game, how we usually see it with Alabama. And like I said, I figured they would still be in the top 10, but they got to handle business the rest of the way, man. They're still in the driver's seat because they can still get to, obviously, an SEC championship game, but now they're going to have to win the rest of their games in order to do that. Notre Dame, man, I even think they should move up a little bit because that was a butt-whooping that they put on Pittsburgh, who was ranked coming into the AP poll. They handled business. Jeremiah Love looked good. Defense looked good, was creating havoc. Notre Dame is a playoff team. Got to be honest, man. They should win their last 2 games easily and make the CFP playoff. Oklahoma, big one this week. Don't drop the ball or coming up in the next few weeks. Got to go up against Missouri. Handle your business, man. John Mateer continues the ball out. Look good. He's that guy. He's that dude. Continue the ball. Oregon, a big one this upcoming week, man. USC, College Game Day is going to be in attendance at Eugene, Oregon for this game. 6 versus number 16. We'll see how the CFP rankings have it. But can't wait to see Dante Moore again, who's continuing to ball out. DeCorey Moore's been dealing with a little bit of an injury, but they've been continuing to run the ball at a high level. That's a big game coming up between those 2 teams. Texas Tech, obviously continuing to ball. I like their team, man. Morton, they can run the football. Really good defense with Romello Height and the boys and Bailey. And you got to give credit to Jacob Rodriguez, who's one of the best linebackers in the country, man. Probably number 1. He's that dude. He's nice. He's him. Ole Miss, man. Big win for them, man. Big comeback victory for them. Kewan Lacey, 200-plus yards on the ground. Him, and obviously that offense with Trinidad Chambers is the real deal. Georgia, hey, you can't hate on the Bulldogs, man. They're a real team, man. They're resilient. They can win in so many different ways, man. Defense is coming on. Depth is looking good. This team is for real. Texas A&M, hey, 30-3. That would have been an ugly loss at home, man, especially after you just extended your coach. But credit them for rallying. Defense pitches a second-half shutout. Marcel Reed throws for over 400 yards after having a terrible first half, and they figured it out. That's what matters. That's what championship teams do. Aggie's going to be one to watch. Indiana, you know about, obviously, the Hoosiers. They're going to continue to ball out. We know about Fernando Mendoza. He had his Heisman moment last week. This team is in the driver's seat to make a CFP playoff. And then obviously Ohio State, big win against UCLA. Jeremiah Smith was hobbled, but it didn't matter. Your quarterback ball, and now you're in this spot. So yeah, y'all, that's my thoughts on the latest rankings.